There is somewhere on Earth where people are as isolated as astronauts. It is a place of extremes. There are sub-zero temperatures. Inland, the air is too thin to breathe, and the long winters come with months of darkness. It's called Antarctica. For those overwintering at the Concordia Research Station, the experience is similar to being on another planet, or the journey getting there. So ESA has teamed up with the British Antarctic Survey to study how humans survive conditions that resemble a long-duration space flight or staying on the Moon or Mars. Because with all access to the station cut off during winter, getting home soon is out of the question.
At one point, I did consider my decision to come, but when the last plane left, there was no way back. We'd passed the point of no return. We were now just 13 people with no way of rescue, even if things went wrong.
The Concordia station even resembles a potential base on the Moon or Mars. Inside there are labs and recreational areas. But being confined with the same group of people can cause the same type of physiological and psychological stresses experienced by astronauts on the International Space Station. These types of experiments are ongoing, and ESA astronauts Samantha Cristoforetti and Tim Peake have both sent words of encouragement from the space station during their missions. Being in Antarctica during winter means never seeing grass, children, open water or animals. You might experience problems sleeping or loneliness, and also have to be prepared for an extreme environment in many ways similar to the Martian surface.
Like one time we went outside and the straps on our stretcher cracked instantly because of the cold. But then we had our -80 that day.
At 3,000 metres above sea level, oxygen levels are low, and studying its effects can help the design of future spacecrafts or habitats. Scientists can also monitor how the body adapts to prolonged darkness and altitude. But mental health is equally important.
To monitor our mood, we recorded so-called video diaries, and these were later analysed by computer software, which tried to figure out how we felt, regardless of what we said.
The crew complete questionnaires, have blood tests, and undergo scans of brain activity and structure before and after their stay. All this information helps medicine and physiology, but is also crucial to assess how astronauts will perform when millions of kilometres away from Earth. The activities of ground-based Antarctic astronauts like Beth Healy, who spent a year on the base, is therefore informing the success of future space missions to the Moon, Mars and beyond.
Well, you might think, why do you do that, right? We're in a black, damp, muddy hole. It's 6 degrees centigrade, and I haven't seen the daylight since 5 days. What's the reason why we do that? Well, you'd be surprised to learn that it's actually pretty similar to space. Not in the very finest details, but in the overall environment. So we're surrounded here by a potentially dangerous environment that's not very nice to live in. It's actually pretty complex to live in. It's pretty, inconvenient to be around here. And nevertheless, we come here to do science, to explore, to understand life on Earth better. We find new species, we find animals, plants that live down here, surprisingly make it in such an environment, and we want to explore that, and that's going to be very similar to exploring the moon, for example. So in this training course, I had two roles. As part of this training course, that we changed roles. So in the first part, I was the camp manager. I was responsible for putting up the campsite behind me. And in the second part of the course, I became the commander. That was interesting for me because I just came back from space and I was the commander of the ISS, the space station up there. And to me, it's surprising how many analogies there are, because down here, like on the space station, you live together with the crew, roughly 6 people, in which you have many different roles, right? You are not only the commander of the space station or of caves, but you really have to be functioning as a team member, right? You have to take care of your crew, you have to participate in science, in exploration, and so you have to sort of adapt your role several times a day, and also during the course, because also on the ISS you arrive as a crew member before you become a commander, so you have to be a good follower in order to be a good leader. So as a commander, you actually want to listen to your team, poll them for their ideas, and make sure that this gets focused in one direction, and then you come together as a team, actually much stronger than 6 individuals. And this is really useful to train down here. To me, that's a fantastic environment in any case. I always imagined the cave as like this dark, small little hole in the ground that you have to crawl through, and sometimes the cave is really like that. Sometimes you have to crawl through passages that are really as wide as I am. I can't even wear a backpack because it's so tight there. But then there's caverns like these where 300 meters below your feet you could build a cathedral. And we've been in several caverns today. We have been swimming from some to the next, and you could build cities, entire cathedrals, cities with skyscrapers down here. I had no idea that this was below my feet, so I'm pretty amazed every single day.